Oh, shit. Oh, no, I'm not supposed to cuss anymore. A friend of mine with a huge up and coming YouTube channel revolving around fails and wine cooler. Nope, you dropped the wine coolers. Told me, man, you gotta quit cussing on your videos. Keep it cool, not make references to alcohol, drug use, or nothing like that. Not that I talk about drug use that much, but yeah. So what's up? Been a minute. This is gonna be a long one. If you got some miles to cover, later, save it and come on back. Uh, we are rolling down Franklin Street in the city of San Francisco, headed towards the bridge, but it's going to be a minute till we get to the bridge. And we have to make it all the way to the bridge for it to officially qualify. So, hope you brought a snack or something. Uh, been a minute. Been a minute. Oh no. I got some new subs. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Hopefully you enjoy it here. It's not the most exhilarating channel, but it'll get you down the road. Maybe make you think. Maybe. Feel free to drop in the comments any suggestions you might have. Negative, positive, whatever, man. It's all good. Oh, make that shift. That's right. So, what do we want to talk about? This morning, was leaving a produce warehouse, and I was making a corner by a truck stop, and I looked over, and like you should do, you keep your eyes out when you're turning, and there was a guy on my passenger side, and at first I thought it was like some bags, like some garbage bags, and a bicycle, and it was shiny. And I don't know wherever you're at. I don't know. You've probably seen this. There's these cones. They're like delineators. They're basically cones, but they're glued down for a bike lane, for a crosswalk, for a whatever, turn lane. So you can run them over if you have to. They're not an actual barrier, but you're not supposed to. And if you run them over in a truck, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Especially in them bike lanes. You got to make a corner. However, this man crashed into one of those on a bicycle and face planted pretty hard. And he was lying there. When I got a little closer, I noticed it was a man, and he was laying there on his back, all twisted up in the bike, and he was waving, just kind of like holding his hand up in the air. And I said, shit, I feel a little obligated to try to help someone out in that situation. So I did. I pulled off to the side, hit the four ways, got out, and there's another trucker next to me who was pulling out of the fuel station, and he pulled over too. So we kind of blocked the street. The dude didn't get hit, And we got out, and I don't know, because my Spanish is subpar at best, and he was not speaking in English. I don't know if he normally does, but he was speaking Spanish, so it was tough for me to really communicate, but his speech was real slurred. And at first I said, oh man, this guy's riding around drunk or something, but he didn't smell like alcohol or anything, which made me think, oh damn, maybe our boy's got a concussion. This might be very serious. So we got the bike untangled from him. He was wearing a backpack that weighed about 400 pounds, all his stuff with him, and we got that untangled. So got him to sit up, and he still wasn't very coherent. So I was like, well, I'm not really about dialing 911. That's not really my thing. But I feel like in this specific case, it's probably a good idea. And I didn't actually dial 911. I called, I was South City. I called the non-emergency line. I just looked it up real quick, called it, and explained the situation. They said, hey, we got to transfer you to medical. I said, cool. They did that. And I was talking to the dispatcher on the medical, and she's asking me all kinds of questions, like I'm a paramedic or a doctor. She's like, well, what's his pulse like? I was a lady, I don't know. It's a guy that fell off a bike. Like, I don't, send someone to help, man. That's what y'all do, right? And luckily, in the time I was talking to her, just a patrol officer, just a cop, rolled by, saw two trucks blocking all the traffic, and flipped around, saw what was happening. And then another backup officer showed up, and they were talking to him. And I asked him at one point, I say, man, I kind of got to get moving. Is that cool? Yeah, you weren't involved, right? I said, no, I just found him this way. And the other driver said the same thing because we both saw him about the same time. They said, yeah, you guys are good. Go ahead and, go do your thing, which is cool. And hopefully he's okay. I mean, I don't know. I have no way to follow up. Hopefully the guy's all right. Was just a little stunned or whatever. But it got me thinking, um, people don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? And I'll be 100% honest. There's certain neighborhoods that I go through that I'd be pretty sketchy on stopping for someone also. Just because there's just as good a chance, if not, that dude's going to stick you with a needle or his boys are back there hiding, and when you pull over, they're going to come rob you or whatever. But I thought about it. I was, man, that's cool. This other guy, the other trucker was a older gentleman. I'd say probably in his 60s, wearing a veteran's hat. I didn't actually ask him if he served. I assume he probably served. Weird thing to do to just wear a veteran's hat if you have no military experience, right? And kind of conducted himself like that. You can kind of pick out someone who was in the service, whatever, just the way they carry themselves. So I thought that was cool. And just, I don't know, man. There's just like a lack of, is it empathy, kindness, or just consideration? Like, remember when you used to see if there'd be someone stalled in an intersection, people would stop and like at least help push the car out? Or if there was a collision of some kind, people would pull over and go check on the person. And how often when you're driving now do you see a car stall and everyone just, what's the first thing they do? Put their blinker on and everyone starts fighting to get around them, right? Or it could be a car wreck, same thing. See a bunch of people like, well, luckily I made it through. And I kind of get it because now everyone's got a phone, whatever, and I guess you're calling it in, which is cool. The appropriate authorities show up to handle it. But man, just, I don't know, probably not the guy I met this morning because I think he was all right, but what if he wasn't, man? What if that dude had been sitting there bleeding out and no one stopped? Or he had internal bleeding or whatever, just no one stopped. Dude, just that's a bad way to go. You just wreck your bicycle on the way home from work or to work or whatever and just lie there and just die by yourself on a curb when it would have been preventable for the most part, or at least someone could have tried, That guy was definitely not going to make a phone call. He was pretty out of it. So, I don't know. And it just kind of like, is that just who we are now? Is like any sense of community or whatever? Is that just like a thing of the past or what? I don't know. I try to be a pretty polite, if nothing else, person. Like hold the door for a person, or if someone's walking in after you, hold the door, etc. Or if you tie at a like a four-way, you just wave the person on because it's like, why not? Someone's got to go. Things of that nature. Let people merge. Let people get their lane they need. Just to me, that's common courtesy. I don't know, but I don't see it as much anymore. Seems like everyone's just doing their own thing, and I know it's not how it used to be. I know that there's a lot more dangerous people out there than there used to be, and just kind of like twisted, sick in the head type people. And I'm pretty introverted, so I'm not real friendly trying to make a conversation with every person I meet anyways, but I'm not rude about it. I don't know. Like, think about it. You're going to walk in, you're parked at a Love's or wherever, take your pick, you're parked. You walk inside, let's say you see another driver walking for a truck, walking up there, and it's kind of like you're next to each other. Do you acknowledge him or her? Like, I still do. I don't know. And I know a lot of us who have been driving for a while, we've seen differences in what truckers look like. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely racial differences, which shouldn't matter no matter what, but language differences is what I was looking for. A lot of them, they might not speak like English, or you speak a different language and they only speak whatever. So you're probably not going to be able to make a conversation with them, but do you at least like make eye contact and nod? Or I'll at least try to do that. But, hey, morning. And I'm not, like I said, you got to be aware you run into that lonely guy who's been living out of that truck for a year and a half, and you're his first human contact, and now he's your best friend. You don't have time for all that shit. Like, I can appreciate that. You got to kind of be aware. But I don't know. Most of us are just trying to like get through the day, right? I don't know. It makes my day better if someone just says, "Hey, good morning," or "How's it going?" or windy out there, just whatever the hell, just some acknowledgement that there's another human being within their general occupied space. If you hold the door for the person when you get up to the door, that's even better. Or is that just gone? I don't know. Maybe it's just gone. Disappointing. Just kind of makes it so nobody, real lack of, what would it be, camaraderie, I guess. I just don't think that could be good for anybody, or us as a society in general. And I know there's a lot of weirdos out there, so I do get it. And I'm me. I'm a fairly full-size dude. I carry myself in a way that kind of conveys probably don't mess with me, or I'm not looking for trouble or whatever. And it's probably different for the ladies, or if you're older or you're handicapped or whatever it may be. Like, I could see that. But just in general, I don't know, it's disappointing when you don't see people being a little more communal. No, that sounds like communist. That's not what this video about at all. I don't know, respectful, courteous, probably courteous. Just, I don't know. I was raised to say please and thank you and what have you, and I still do it. And I say yes, sir, no, ma'am. Although now that'll get you in trouble. That'll get you canceled. You really got to watch that. It seems like, we all see it, right? Whenever a driver is having a hard time getting into a tight spot, remember when people used to get out and spot them? Or at least say something on the CB? I remember. And now what? Now what are we doing? What are we doing? We're videoing it, hoping they stack something up so you can get some hits or likes or whatever, right? Ow. I get it. And obviously, like, I make dumbass videos and put them on YouTube and stuff too, right? So I'm no better. But it just seems like there'd be a certain point where you could stop somebody. But hey, you're about to smoke that dude's sweet ass 389. Like, you shouldn't do that. Here, let me give you a guide and take 10 seconds out of my day. I was sitting there staring at you anyways. I might as well, like, try to give you a hand. Perhaps that's just a thing of the past and we just don't do that anymore. But this morning made me feel kind of good that I wasn't the only one. The other trucker didn't just, like, blare the air horn at me, like, tell me to get out of his way because he had to be somewhere. Maybe the e-logs have something to do with it too. I know that ever since everyone went electronic, you can't stop sometimes. You just got to be there because you can't lie anymore. You know what I mean? You can't just rip a page out, throw it away, and start over for that day. So, you are kind of put in a position where you got to really pick and choose where you stop and for how long. These are just questions. Damn, I should have started this a little later. It's a nice day out. It's a very nice day. It's a nice day, break from the rain and the wind and whatnot. It's supposed to be in the 80s, I think, on this upcoming weekend, which is kind of weird. I was hoping for some of those 60s and 70s, springtime before we jumped right into summer. But it's whatever. It's all good. We got enough water, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm going to ramble now until we get to the bridge. My timing was off. I know technically I could stop this and just do it again at the bridge, but I feel like that would be disingenuous to my loyal viewers, all of you that, depend upon me for my honesty when it comes to bridge thoughts actually take place on a bridge, barring, catastrophic breakdown or act of God, of course. I think I've only failed once so far. I think that one day I was on 80 and we just weren't going to make it. Traffic was stopped and it was all shut down, and I just only had so much to talk about. Not that I ever have that much to talk about. I don't know. I have no idea how long this is running. I feel like it's been a while. Let's see if I can see it. 14 minutes? Yeah, no. Yeah. I did give you the disclaimer at the beginning. It was going to be a long video, and to feel free to go ahead and skip ahead or, just listen to it when you're trying to go to sleep or something. It still serves its purpose. Not a tremendous level of educational value to it. We're almost there, though. If you're bearing with me, thanks. That was kind of my whole thing on the try to be a decent person themed video and kind of look at your own actions. I get it. Everyone's got to do what they got to do. But once in a while, if you just see an opportunity where you could just, make it a little better. You never know how much that's going to affect the next person. You know, it might be a small gesture on your part. However, you might run into someone who's, 2 steps away from just walking off a bridge or whatever, and it might just turn the tables for them. And I'm not talking about people that don't deserve your respect, because we all know people like that. They just don't. They don't deserve it. They're just bad people, or they're just not. Maybe they're not bad people, but they act poorly, and nothing you do is going to change that. And they'll just mistake your kindness for weakness, and that's not okay. That's 100% not what I'm talking about. I just mean random strangers, man, or just not coworkers, but what the hell's the word for that? Not comrades, coworkers. Oh, tunnel. Hold on. Yep, tunnel vision. I still can't think of that damn word. What is it? Say someone who's in the same profession as you. Say, oh man, once I hit end, it'll come to me. Maybe I'll add it in the video later. Like, just have a little pop-up with that word. Colleague. See? These long videos serve their purpose. I had time to figure that out. A colleague might be someone you at least show a little respect and courteousness to. Don't worry, we're almost there. You probably hit skip ahead. For those that don't know, you can just hit the skip ahead. It's easy. You just double tap the screen. I think it's 30 seconds, 20 seconds at a time. Probably going to be a cool view on the bridge. I'm just saying. Maybe not. It's pretty clear skies, though. You don't get it all day. I got to get a lane. Yeah. All right. Yeah, okay, we're almost there. I guess the bottom line is, everyone's a person, right? We might not disagree or come from different places or whatnot, but it doesn't kill you to try to see someone else's point of view once in a while, or even if you don't try to do all that, if it's not that meaningful of an interaction, it doesn't kill you to at least start off in a positive manner and let your guard down just a little bit. And I'm not saying it'll work every time, but you might be pleasantly surprised. You never know, man. You might come across somebody that you can be mutually beneficial to. You never know. Anyway, all right. Should I let this roll while we go across the bridge? We're in it this deep. Fuck it. Damn. I can't edit that out. That's all right. The algorithm's probably not paying attention anymore. We just rolling. Look at all these people. They finally walking across it. So the other side of the bridge, see that guy, those people on the bicycle? Hopefully you saw him. The other walkway, the southbound side, is supposed to be for bicycles, and the northbound side, I guess it'd be the northbound side is supposed to be pedestrian. The southbound side, which is the eastern half, or western half, is supposed to be for bicycles, but they still haven't managed to get that together. I don't know why. Like, you could just ride a bicycle over there, and obviously, like, when you mix them, people get ran over by bicycles pretty frequently. That's a risk you take, I guess. It's worth it for the view, and you get to see Alcatraz and all that fun stuff, right? The Farallon Islands, all the other cool stuff you can see from the bridge. You guys can't, unfortunately, because I can't mess with the camera while we're rolling, so you probably didn't see Alcatraz or the Farallons. You saw the bridge. It's kind of cool, though. I don't know. Where are we at? A little windy, not bad. 46 degrees. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that 46 degrees. We were down in the 20s and whatnot. That kind of was lame. And then, before too long, it'll be up uncomfortably warm. I think I function right around in the mid 60s to high 70s range. That's kind of where I'm at as a full figured guy. I got a little extra insulation. The super hot days aren't for me, and super cold is just miserable for everybody, right? Okay, it's official. Made it to the other side of the bridge. If you're still watching, thank you. Feel like hitting the thumbs up, cool. If you feel like leaving troll account messages, that's cool too. Leave it in the chat. Thank you for subscribing. Share this, if you will. Isn't that what you're supposed to say? Yeah. You don't have to share it. It's all good. But hey, thank you for real for the people that do end up sharing out my videos. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. And I'll catch you on the next one. All right, late.